Hey everybody, Dave Clark, aka the Pattern Guy. Hey, we're in the pattern shop today. It's been a little bit, been just so busy. Just had a lot of personal stuff going on. As usual, this summer's just been a bear personal wise. So anyhow, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to do another offset parting. Okay, I'm kind of in the middle of doing a bunch of work right now. One of the jobs I'm working on, the guy doesn't want me to film it, which is fine. The other one, I'll show you what I'm doing. Actually finishing up the second Y pipe I'm doing for the motorcycle guy. Pouring plastics on it. You guys seen that, so that's one of the things I figured I'm not going to show you that again because you already seen it, right? So what I'm going to do today is I got to get going on those train signals too. So I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 patterns, and right now I have 2 mounted and gated. That's it. So I got to do 3. Actually, I got 3, but the one's not gated, I got it mounted. All right, so anyhow, what I'm going to do today is I'll show you a little access door. Okay, it's curved, so we got to have like a curved parting on there. Okay, one thing I'm going to show you real quick, like I told you a few weeks ago, I'm going to do some just regular woodworking. I'm going to show you guys. Went down to Amish country this week, Blaine and I. Let me show you what we got down there. Okay, hang on, take you outside here. There's Blaine's trailer. That's gonna be my bridge, and actually part of that's gonna be Dean's. I'm sorry, keep on getting Blaine. I always say Blaine and Dean. This is Blaine's trailer. Okay, these 2 big pieces, those things are gonna be the beams going across. It's a 14-foot span. And then this stuff up on top, this is red oak. If you can see Blaine's trailer here, he's going to redo his trailer here. So that's going to be the decking. And then this stuff underneath here, all this stuff here, all right there, that's going to be the deck for the bridge. So I'm not going to get to that for probably a few weeks, easy. You know, once I get to it, I'll show you guys, you know, some of the things I'm doing. I got a bunch of prep work to do. I got to take the old, actually what I got to do, I got to take the old bridge apart first. When I first built it, I put 4 sono tubes. We poured concrete in them. That was my foundation basically for the bridge, right? The bridge supports, one of those got blown over in that storm, so I got to replace that. So I'm not going to show you that stuff. I'll show you some woodworking. It's going to be all basic woodworking really, but we'll show it to you anyways. And then the other thing I got going too is my buddy Dave. He's got that old switchboard cabinet. He wants to get going on that thing, and you know, I think I've had that door here probably about 4 or 5 months, you know, so we're gonna get on it. It's been hard here. What I would have liked to have built the bridge out of, plus the decking on Blaine's trailer. What I used to do when I had an excavating business, what we used to do is we would replace any of the decking with white oak. White oak really, it's tough and it lasts outside, and that's what they used to build wooden boats out of a lot of times. So anyhow, yeah, rambling. Speaking of that, okay, so where my dad, you met my dad in the one video, where he was from, they actually built a lot of ships back there in the old days. And what they started doing in like probably early mid 1800s, they started growing white oak trees, and what they would do is they'd cable them over and arch them, and you know, let them grow. Well, then it got to the point, you know, late 1800s, 1900s, they started building steel hull ships and that. So there's a place, if I can, I I'll probably forget like I always do. My one uncle, yeah, he doesn't live in that city anymore, but we'll see if we can get some pictures of them somehow. But there's supposed to be some big, huge white oak trees that are just arched over, you know, so we'll see if we can find that. But anyhow, let's get back in the shop and I'll set you up on the tripod and we'll see what's going on. All right, hang tight, guys. Okay guys, back in the shop here. Alright, so what we're going to do is I made this little master pattern, okay? And this is going to go to, if you remember this, we mounted this thing. I still haven't gated it. Like I said, this is kind of like back burner stuff and that, but I probably even shouldn't be doing this today. I got so much other stuff I'm doing, but I haven't got a video out in a little bit. I want to keep this stuff going here, so I figured this is something that we can do today, okay? So basically what this is going to be is, this is the base to a train signal for the Live Steam club that I belong to up the street here. Okay, so this is the base of it. What they want to do is they want to be able to mount all the bases down permanently. And then during the winter time, they want to be able to take, there's going to be a pole going through here with the head on it, okay? So what they want to be able to do is they want to be able to take the pole and the head off so that they can take them in so that they don't get damaged over the winter. We get some pretty harsh winters here. And then a lot of the train club too, it's in the woods. And we had that emerald ash borer come through here, decimate the ash. And there's a lot of standing dead trees in there that they really can't afford to, you know, go around and cut them out and that. So if they're just, when they fall, and if they fall across the tracks, they cut them up. So that's, you know, a thing they don't want to. Plus just, you know, people just vandalizing, you know. So what they're going to have to do is they got, from the head, you know, on down, there's a wiring harness, and then there's going to be a plug inside here. Okay, so we need an access door. That's going to be the access door, and then we're going to screw that on here, okay? So anyhow, this particular pattern, I have one on because it's big, okay? And this is actually, this is going to be big for my foundry, but I've made them. We can handle it. It's not a big thing, okay? So anyhow, this one, like I always say, we want to try to put as many on a match plate as we can. That way we can do less molds down the road, okay? So this one we probably could put like 8 on a board that size, but I don't have the flasks either. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 4 of these on. We got to do 44 for the club, but like I said, I want to start making these too. A bunch of club guys are interested in making or having one of these things too. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 4 on a mold. So for the club, we'll need to make 11 molds and pour them in that. But that's what we'll do with this. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short today. Plus I don't have the time. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the parting on this, get it ready to pour plastic. You guys see me pour plastic, so what I'll do is I'm just going to show you how to set up the parting for this today, okay? And then we'll pour the plastic, and then probably a week or 2 from now or something like that, I'll show you how to, we're going to make 4-on urethane match plate off of this, okay? So then I'll show you how to do that too. I'm just not going to have time to do that today, okay? So like I said, I got a whole bunch of other stuff I'm doing too. So anyhow, with all that, all right, this is one of the things that you know, I told you before too, and you know, especially smaller guys just starting out, you get pieces of plywood. Always keep little pieces of plywood around, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to start out with this as a base, okay? I'm going to put this door on here. All right, now we're going to figure out the parting on this, okay? So a lot of times, say if I was going to do this loose, I just want to do 1 or 2. What I would do is I'm going to have to add some stock around here to make my parting, okay? And then what I would do is I would use the plywood. I could use a smaller piece of plywood. I could use a plywood as a parting block, okay? But we're going to do a little different today because I don't want that extra 3/4 depth of the piece of plywood I'm using here to go on the manch plate. That'll poke it all the way through. I mean, I won't be able to. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of use the top of the plywood for the parting, okay? So basically, I'll show you, you know, what you got to do. I made this, so if you're doing this off a casing, it's a lot different, okay? I made this, and I made this in mind for putting it on a manch plate and that, so I already kind of have draft angles on a little bit. It's kind of hard to show you up here. So what I basically did, okay, so we'll do some chalk talk. All right, here's a side view of it, okay, and then here's an end view, okay. So I tell you what, let's do this a little bit bigger. This way you'll be able to see this. Let's do the end view, and it'll be a little bit more explained here. Okay, so what I did, all right, now say this is the thickness. It doesn't quite go like that either. I'm not gonna get this perfect here, guys, but all right, it's a little bit shallower of a radius. Okay, so now, if I got, say, my parting here, okay, this is basically what I want to do, right? Okay, I want to part that there, but this particular pattern's not that thick, too. It's I think 5/32 I made this, okay? So a little bit bigger than the E. It's best, like, especially aluminum, it's good to pour, you know, a little bit heavier than an 1/8 for a sand casting and that. If you have a permanent mold or that, or you're heating up the mold that it's going into, you know, it'll come out a little bit better. But for sand castings, 1/8 of an inch, it's getting, you know, that's about where you're going to be with thickness on a lot of stuff. So it's like smaller stuff too. If you have like a 1/8 of an inch thick pattern that big, there's no way you're going to cast that in sand casting. I mean, some people might be able to, I wouldn't be able to, but it's just because there's so much surface area sand in there, you know, unless you heat the sand up or something before too, because that aluminum will just start chilling, you know, and you won't fill it up, okay? So what I did when I did this, okay, and I did this for 2 reasons, okay? So, like I said, this is going to go into here, okay? So when I designed this, I had 2 things in my mind when I designed this, okay? This door has to be able to go in here, okay? Plus I wanted to be able to mold it, okay? So basically what I did was I put a little draft here, okay, if you want to say the draft. But this kind of does 2 things for me, okay? It lets me, you know, set that into the frame. You know, if I was just straight here, if I just took this top radius all the way out, you know, I'd have a hard time fitting it in to this window here, okay? So that's why I ended up, you know, I cut the edges out so that kind of put my draft on there, okay? And then the other thing I did too, we radius this a little bit here too. Okay, ooh, that doesn't work too good, does it? Let's see what we can do here. Alright, we radius this also, okay? That's straight there, alright? So that's going to make it easier to mold it when it's on the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, like, from my parting line, or my piece of plywood, up to here, what I'll do is I'll just measure from my parting up to here, okay, and it's like looking like it's be about around 1/8 of an inch, probably a little less in that. I don't have my ruler with me. Yeah, I do. Okay, now here too. Okay, this is a pattern, Okay, it's aluminum pattern. We use 3/16 shrink for this. Okay, however, when I'm doing this, you can use standard because it's going to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to shrink or anything. It is just what it is. So I mean, either or. It's got my standard rule here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll measure that, and then it actually is way small. It's about 3/32. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of stock, 3/32. It's going to hit that edge and stay on the bottom here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is, let me try to clean this up for you guys a little bit here. Alright. So, so that's hitting the bottom of that radius. The bottom of the radius is setting on this piece of plywood or the parting. Okay? So from here to the parting is 3/32. Okay? So I'm going to have to get some 3/32 stock. What I'll do is, a couple ways you can do this. I'm actually going to cut this a little bit smaller, not too much smaller. Okay, it's going to make it easier for me to work. Okay, so what we'll do is put a couple 3/32 pieces on here. In here too, again, I don't want to make it too big. You know, I want to try to be able to get 40s on a match plate. Okay, so what we can do, there's a couple different ways you can do this. Okay, this is just kind of moving around here, so to make it easier, there's a couple things you could use. Double-sided tape, you know, double-sided tape this down here, or you can get that modeling clay, like I said, and make a what do you call it? Make a parting, or it'd be on the parting, but it just it'll stick to the board, and then you could stick the door to it. Okay, you've seen me do one where I'll actually do the radius here, right, and that'll be a parting block, but I can't do that on this one because it's going the other way. So my parting has to come up to the top radius, not that inside radius. Okay, so what I'll do is, like I said, I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter. I'm going to fasten this down somehow, and I'm going to get some 3/32 strips, start working there. Okay, then after that, we're going to have to get this radius over here, okay? And that'll give me my parting block, all right? And then from there, I'll pour a plastic, and I'll have 2 molds, and we'll be able to put them on the match plate, okay? So, hang tight. Let me get a couple pieces of wood. I'll show you where I'm going, and then we'll, like I said, it's not going to be too long today. We'll wrap it up fairly quick, all right? Hang tight. Okay guys, over here on the drill press, I cut this piece of wood down, found a little piece of mahogany. This is another thing I do. I got one of those totes. I put smaller scrap pieces of mahogany because I do a lot of real small stuff, especially for the train guys. So a lot of times, most of the pattern shops I've ever worked at, you know, every 6 months they'd have the apprentice go through the lumber rack. You wouldn't believe the amount of lumber, especially mahogany, we used to throw out. Here, I kind of keep my mahogany. I do throw a lot of pine out, but then yeah, little pieces like this I always keep because this is part 4. Okay, so I still don't have any of the aluminum sander heads done yet. I got them cast. They're up at my buddy Charlie's. He's supposed to be machining them for me. He's going to do them for me for nothing, so I don't want to push him. As soon as he gets them done, he gets them done. So, you know, when I get them back, I'll show you guys. If you guys are interested in them, they'll be for sale too. So, alright, so another thing, what I just said here, said this is going to be 3/32 thick, okay? This is going to bring this over here, and I'm right where I got, you know, I got to be where I got to be, right? So, that's how we're going to do this. Okay, now, same thing with this thing. Like I said, watch your fingers, okay? Because this, you're just sanding, but it's not, you know, it's sander can get you, okay? Let me plug this in real quick. Okay, one real quick thing. I was just over there, I got stuff everywhere. This shop got really crappy again really quick. Had it cleaned up for a short time, but we got messy again. I was telling you about the white oak outside, okay? Right now, I don't know where you guys are right now. White oak here in Ohio is more expensive than walnut. I've never seen it, okay? So that's one of those things. That's why we're doing red oak on Blaine's trailer deck. And then I'm doing, he got me mostly catalpa and black locust. We wish I could have done the thing on the locust because that'll never rot, you know. But I was just going by here for my buddy Dave's switchboard. It was, we bought, I forget what the board footage was. There's not, there's 6 pieces, 6 inches wide, 10 feet long, 4/4. That was like $250. And that whole stack out there, Blaine's red oak there, that was the same price, you know, and there's way more wood board foot than there, so that's just expensive right now. There we are, we got it. I'm going to cut a couple strips and get going on the parting here. Hang tight. Okay guys, I got my 2 strips. I didn't need to get too wide here. I mean, actually I could have even almost just, you know, put barely nothing on there, okay? But let's get it a little bit. I want to try to keep this as small as I can, alright? So what I got to do is I got to mark here. Alright, put my ruler on there, put my marks, do it down here, okay? Then we're going to come up with a block from here to here with this top radius on there, okay? And then that'll give us our parting block, and then with that, I'll probably come out here and then put a load of draft on here, okay? I got about 20 degrees on here, probably could have put 45. However, it was just, you know, I don't want to crank that far with the sander. Plus these are smaller pieces. The more I crank the table up, the better I can get my fingers jammed in here, so I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to go cut these to length. I'm going to get a couple blocks for the end, and I'll show you how to do that, okay? Okay guys, I got a piece of wood. It was pretty much the height of that curve, the radius, right? So we just put it up against here, marked it out. I'm going to go cut it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. It's a thinner piece of wood, okay? So I'm going to flip this up to cut it. I don't know if you can see what I got drawn out there, okay? So for me to flip this up and hold it square up against the blade is kind of near impossible. So I just took a piece of scrap wood. I got 90 degree, right? So I'm going to put that up against there on the bandsaw, okay? For sake of just doing it, I'm just going to go over there and do it, alright? But that's how I do that. That'll keep this straight, okay? And then I'm keeping this pretty long. I'm going to cut everything else out. I'm keeping this so I can keep my fingers away from the bandsaw blade, okay? Now one of the things I did too, I said here, I should have probably, I admit my mistakes. I should have probably gone ahead and done the radius first, because now I got to do, I said, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I got to cut these little notches out here too, okay? But one thing I got, what I could probably do is, I got the sander pad in the drill press still that height. So I can cut it close, zap it on that. I'm going to have a little bit of, it's going to get boogered up a little bit, but Bondo's our best friend, right? So I can Bondo it up a little bit. Okay, so let me go cut this out, guys, and then I'll be back to show you where we're at. Alright guys, here I got these pieces done. Okay, that's my end piece right there, okay? Now, this is kind of boogered up in here a little bit, but like I said, we can do what the late great Owen Price always used to say, you know, use some Bondo here, okay? So what I'll do is I'll glue these on. All right, I'm gonna touch these up a little bit here. Okay, these ends. And then this stuff it can be a little forgiving on these. Like I say, you wanna try to get everything perfect. But what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna put a frame around this. Okay, I'm gonna pour this plastic. Okay, then what's gonna happen from here is I'm going to take this part, and then these pieces of mahogany are going to be, they're glued to here, right? So we're going to take that off of the mold, and we'll leave the pattern in there, okay? And then we'll pour the other half. All right, if I get a chance, I got if I have the camera back from Joe, I'll you know, show you how to pour the other half. I mean, you guys seen me pour plastics before, so it's not really that big of a deal. So what I'm going to do here, like I said, I'll pour this plastic, and then from here what I'm going to do is make a mold, and then in a couple weeks I'll show you how to do the pattern. Okay, we'll probably make the pattern gated. I'll try to show you how to gate it. I've yet to gate that one too, so let me stick you in here real quick. Okay guys, so it was a little quick in that, but I mean, you get the gist of everything, right? And you know, that's another offset parting we got going. Like I said, there's going to be a ton. Then this, like I said, it was a little bit easier with this one because we made the pattern, so we had it set up so that we could do this a little bit easier. Literally, it took me less than half an hour, you know, to do this. So I'm not quite done yet, but anyhow, got a few other things I'm working on. Oh, what I'm going to show you too. All right, and I promised I'd show you this the other day, but what, let me get this piece here too. Okay, so here's the other parts. This is what I'm calling the junction box, okay? And then this is the face of the signal heads, right? So this is actually a master. Okay, actually no, this one's the pattern. All right, I had 2 on a board. We're having a hard time with 2 on, so I just took it down to 1 on. So this is the pattern that was left over. Okay, so this is going to go on the back of that, and then these 6 parts is where the light bulb socket goes into. Okay, and then we got these little grooves in here. That's where the wires are going to go in. And then this big box here is a junction box. Okay, and then I had a lid, same kind of thing here, but this one's flat. That goes on it. I had this made. I lost the pattern somewhere, and that sucks because I mean I had it done already. And then what we'll do is this one. This one is a little bit smaller than that one. We'll probably put 6 on. We'll probably put 6 of these on a board. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. This has got a flat parting, so it's not going to be an issue. Okay. So we'll pour plastic off the 1/2, flip it over, pour it, and then we'll have 2 molds. We'll make a pattern out of it. Okay. So that's these things going. I'll show you. If I remember, I'll send Joe a picture of these finished when I'm done. They're pretty cool little things. So, like I said, I'm going to make these available down the road for train guys, you know, if they want them and that. So here's another offset parting. Like I said, we're going to be getting into to more whenever I get a casting to show you. That's where it's a little bit more difficult and a little bit more time consuming, and you know, you get to have a little bit more you know, under the belt, time under the belt. Now, this one's fairly easy, so that's pretty cool. So anyhow, we got that done. I'm not getting much pattern work. I got that little wide pipe in. I'm getting a lot of casting work. I haven't been able to get up to the foundry too much lately. My truck broke down. I've been without a truck all week this week, so I don't know when I'm getting that back. Hopefully early next week. We'll take you guys up to the foundry. I got a ton of aluminum to pour. Okay, so I gotta do these faces. I gotta make 50 of these things. I gotta make 50 bases. You know, 50 of these covers when I'm done. and that. So there's a lot of that. Plus I got to get going with that new customer too. He gave me a purchase order for 300 hand wheels. I've yet to get started on those things. Blaine said hopefully this weekend he's going to have the molding machine done. So if he gets that done, I'm going to go out and buy a brand new compressor. I think I started saying that one time. I got to the point where I was going down to HGR. It's a used machine sales place here in Cleveland, 9 acres under roof. They got tons. They probably have 100 compressors here right now. That's where I got the one that I use here in the shop. I paid $179 for that one, I think. So I haven't found any right now kind of similar to this single phase. I need a single phase one. I did find one that had 80-gallon tank, 5 horsepower head. It was single phase, so I was tempted to get that. It was $1,300 used, where I can go to Tractor Supply place. We got Tractor Supply places around here. We're in a rural area. They have Ingersoll Rand 80-gallon compressors, 5 horsepower head. They're $1,060 with a 2-year warranty. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the new one. Really don't have the money for it, but I figured, you know what, it's going to be a little bit less stressful than, you know, if I buy a used one, I don't know what I'm getting too much. HGR is good. They'll take them back within 30 days if there's anything wrong, but I just don't want to putz with it. So I'm going to get that. We'll show you how we're going to put that in. And like I said, Joe's getting all geared up to do the electric. Plumbing's almost done up there, so hopefully next 2 or 3 weeks, if we don't have too much hiccups, we'll have a molding machine up there and start getting molding. So, and then probably after that, we're not going to be able to keep up furnace-wise, so we're going to have to get a bigger furnace in there, and we'll see how that goes. So anyhow, that's it for today. It's Joe's birthday tomorrow, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get this done pretty soon. Hopefully, I'll get the camera up to him. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in again this week, guys. You know, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please tell your buddies about me if you can. And that push the like button helps me hugely. And if you got any suggestions, let me know. If there's something you want to see, let me know. Let's keep this thing going, guys. Okay? Everybody have a good one out there. And most importantly, stay safe. All right?